Alright, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle, and this is my gaming update for the last year. Now, I said I was going to do better with these and have them more frequent. That didn't really happen. I mean, I did technically get a little bit better because, so a year ago was my last update. The one before that was like a year and a half to 2 years prior. So, I got a little bit better, but I really want these to be quarterly. I want these to be every 3 months, so the next one happening, around Christmas time or beginning of 2019 would be perfect. And I think that will happen because I am getting a lot better with playing games. And that's always what I want to do. I want to have enough games to talk about during these videos. And I'm organizing my life, not just in gaming, but just in general, with having a specific schedule. And I'm able to do so much more in my day. I'm not spending as much time on Facebook or just on the internet in general. I still watch YouTube, but I limit myself to a certain amount of time that I'm going to watch on YouTube and specific things that I want to see, and don't go down that rabbit hole. I'm still allowed to do that if I do everything that I'm supposed to do in a day and I have some free time. I figure out, like, when am I working? When am I going to be hanging out with my girlfriend, my friends, my family, all that kind of stuff. When am I going to work out? When am I going to go jogging? When am I going to play games? When am I going to read? When am I going to write a book? There's so many things that I'm able to do in my life. Play Dungeons and Dragons. There's so much that I'm doing. But I'm able to really focus on these things by organizing myself instead of just letting myself choose when I want to do something and it just goes into chaos and nothing gets done. Excuse me. So anyway, I'm just basically going to be doing a lot more of these. Let's get on with the games because we have quite a bit here. So let's start with the Switch games. I do have a few other Switch games here, but I haven't played them yet, so we'll talk about those later. So I did pick up Kirby Star Allies when it first came out on the Nintendo Switch. I beat it. It's about a 4-hour game. And I will probably never play this again. I probably played another hour because I played a little bit by myself before I played with my girlfriend, and that's where we beat it together. And we were dreading this. Like, we played we played it and we were like, how much longer do we have? And we're like, oh, we probably only played for 2 hours. How is there still 2 hours left of this game? We were like freaking out because it was taking so long. It's not that fun. It's not a horrible game by any means. I really don't want to say that. I mean, it's still a Kirby game. It's still cute. It's still a 2D scrolling platformer, but it's more streamlined and it's for kids. And there's this, like, the art style is like this too perfect polish for cute things from Nintendo, if that makes any sense. So too cute polish from Nintendo. New Super Mario Bros. Is a good example. The games are still fun, but they don't have the same feel that, like, Super Mario 3 does, or the SNES one, Super Mario Land or World? World, I think. Yeah, it's just missing something. However, at the very end, the boss battle was epic. I will actually say that the boss, maybe it's epic because for this game it was epic, but it was still very good. It felt like it was epic because of what we had played previously. But if the ending would have been like, if that was the entire game, we would have had so much more fun because we felt like we were having a lot of fun with that boss battle. And it's just too bad because they had the potential of making this a really great Kirby game, but they kind of missed it. If you have 4 people that are willing to play in person, because I don't think this is online, then maybe it's worth it at half price. Even then, like, if it's $15, $20, then it would be worth it. But other than that, I would strongly not recommend this game. Even if you're a big Kirby fan, it's a Nintendo game, so it's probably never going to go half price. Let's be honest here. However, let's switch things up a little bit and talk about a fantastic game on the Nintendo Switch, Super Mario Odyssey. This and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild are worth picking up a Switch for. I mean, there's so many other games now at this point that are totally worth picking up. Like, those 2 games alone are worth picking it up for, and then you have so many other games afterwards to play. But this is absolutely fantastic. Not as good as Super Mario 64 or the Galaxies 1 and 2. I haven't played Sunshine, so I don't know about that, but I have played the Wii U and 3DS version, 3D Land and 3D World, I believe. And this is better than those. Those are okay. This is way better. This is close to being as good as 64 and Galaxy 1 and 2, but not there. It's kind of like an open world Mario, but not really at the same time, because you still have like these worlds, and you're only able to go so far in them. Like when you're in the woods, it doesn't feel like you're actually in the forest and that you can go anywhere. It's still very limited. When you're in the city, it's a very small city, and you don't feel like you can go everywhere. But it's much more open world than any previous Mario game, I guess. So it's still just very fun. I've beaten this, probably put like 15, 20 hours into it. My girlfriend is much further in getting the stars, and I feel that or moon stars, I guess is the moon stars. I think is what they're called in this one. I do feel that you could beat it in a little bit of faster period than that. But I was kind of like if you just went like getting the certain amount of stars to get to the next world and kind of just rush through this, you could beat it in a faster time. But I was kind of just going on my own pace, and when I saw extra stars and when I had like, okay, I picked up enough, I feel like in this, and I would know how many I would always need. But I was like, I still am having fun in this world, so I'm going to stay for a little bit longer. Great game. Next up, I've talked about this one and the next one before, but I am still playing it, Splatoon 2. My girlfriend is so good at this game now. So what happened was we were playing this every once in a while, and then she decided to kind of play on her own. And then when we played again, she was so proud of her level because she was a higher level than I was. And it wasn't just that she was a higher level. It was the fact that she got so much better at this game that because we would go in opposing teams every once in a while, and she would kill me like it was almost 50-50. And she's not a shooter. Like, she's never played shooters before. That is not her forte at all. But she got so good with the game. I was impressed. I was so impressed with her. And generally, in most games, she and I will have the highest. We'll be at the top of our teams. And when we're on the same team, we rarely lose. And that's... I'm just so proud of how good she got with Splatoon 2. I actually want to go back and play it right now, just talking about that. But we play almost every month, the game. Same, not as much lately, but we did play quite a bit of Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I still play this like every few months. Fantastic game. Arguably the best Mario Kart. Like there you have it. Like there you have 3 fantastic games, along with The Legend of Zelda, that are totally worth picking up the Switch for. I mean, if you already have a Wii U, maybe you don't need this. And Splatoon 1, I mean, you can still play that, but it's still fantastic games on the Switch. I absolutely love that system. And you can play them handheld. Next up, Minecraft. I have this on Xbox One. I have this on PC. I still needed to pick it up for the Switch. I was like, no, I don't really need to. And then it came out, and I was like, no, I do need to pick it up. Playing this on handheld, just sitting back in my bedroom and playing it on the bed before I have to go to sleep is so much fun and relaxing. I love Minecraft. I've only put up like maybe 10-15 hours into the game, but it's still such a blast. I love it. I love being able to play on handheld. It's not a big crazy game, so I mean playing on handheld looks the same as if I was playing on my big screen TV. Okay, next up. If you're into turn-based RPGs, this is another reason to own a Switch. Octopath Traveler. Good job, Square Enix. My goodness. I've only played the 3-hour demo. I picked up the game, but I had the demo and I wanted to beat it. Not beat it, but play my full 3 hours of it. I did, and I haven't played this since because I'm playing so many other games. But I'm going to be playing this probably in the next little bit of October. I still have a few other games that I want to kind of plow through. I might actually play this tonight because I'm kind of tempted. But anyway, fantastic game. The art style is just gorgeous in this. It's a turn-based game that is a throwback to the old school JRPGs with its graphical style, with its play style. I think that the people that made Bravely Default on 3DS were helping out with this. Which makes sense because I can see it shining through, which is also a love letter to RPG fans, old school RPG fans, and it's a fairly basic battle system where you kind of figure out what the weakness is for certain enemies, and then you exploit that by you know what they're weak against, so you start doing as many attacks with that kind of like a different weapon or a different kind of magic. And then you're able to break them. Once they're broken, you can do a lot more damage. And you also have, similar to the Bravely Default system, kind of like extra moves that kind of get banked. So you attack once, you'll bank 1 extra attack. You attack again, you bank 2. You attack again, you bank 3. You can use one extra attack, and then you'll still bank another one afterwards. So you're always banking one extra move, and you can kind of use them as you want. I think a 4 or 5, I can't remember, is the max that you can have. But it's different from Bravely Default, because Bravely Default, if you use them, like let's say if I want to, you're starting the battle, you want to use all 4 at the beginning, you have to wait 4 turns before you can attack again. Whereas this, you kind of bank them up and you use them as you want, and you'll still have a turn afterwards. So I do like that. Fairly simple so far, but just an absolutely a gorgeous game. Great soundtrack. The story itself is a little bit to be desired. I started with Cyrus. Cyrus. And it's okay. It's serviceable. It's doing its job. It's mainly for the turn-based RPG again. The art style that looks like an SNES, maybe PlayStation 1 RPG, and that it is turn-based. And the music. The music is too also very, very fantastic. All right. Let's switch spots. Let's talk about, I think these are all my PlayStation VR games. So I ended up getting a PlayStation VR. I also got quite a few things for it. I ended up getting the gun. I don't know what this is called. It's okay. I also got the Move controllers, or whatever the heck these are called. I don't know what these are called. But I have those too. I like VR. I feel that it's something you need to experience. You don't necessarily need to spend the amount of money that it costs to own the VR and play it like I did. But you need to somehow get your hands on like a friend's copy, or going to at the mall that I would have one of these that you can kind of check it out. Because it's like playing games all over again for the first time. It's a completely different experience. But the games aren't ready for what they want to do yet. Batman Arkham VR is a relatively short game. Like I felt like it was under 2 hours to beat. I felt like Batman, kind of. Like when you're putting on the suit and you're going down the elevator, it's incredible. It is incredible. But you can't walk around. And I wanted to do a grappling hook and kind of glide. That would have been amazing. I might have thrown up. I don't feel like I ever have to throw up, but I do get a little bit dizzy if I play a game for a lot of time. Batman, it never happened because you're kind of standing still and you're kind of just moving around a little bit. So that's different. And you do need... You can play this with DualShock 4? I played it with the PlayStation Move. Apparently you have the DualShock 4 option that you can play it with the controller. I did not know that. I feel that this game, you kind of have to have the Move controllers. It's just kind of like investigating. You're not really doing crazy amounts of things. Like you do have the Batarang. That's essentially it. It's okay. I think it's more of a demo of what we're eventually going to be able to do with VR. Farpoint is what I ended up getting with the gun. And it's okay. I mean, I'm not far into it. I played maybe like 2 hours, so not very far. And a lot of it is monsters and spiders. I don't want to be shooting spiders, and I don't want to be shooting small things. I want to be shooting big enough objects because it's a little bit hard to kind of aim. So I want to be shooting, honestly, people or aliens that are like, bipedal. I want them to be walking around and they're shooting at me. That's the kind of battle that I want with a first-person shooter for VR, because I think it would be a lot easier. Whereas this, you're kind of stranded on a different planet, and there's a bunch of aliens, but they're very like spider-like, which freaks me the hell out. And I mean, maybe that's what they're kind of going for, is to just creep you out. But they're small and stuff, and then the bigger ones are kind of there when they're shooting. But I want to feel like a Call of Duty type of game. I think that would be perfect for this. And I could do that. And I play these games standing up, and it worked. I mean, because you do have an analog stick here, and that's what you kind of use. And then you're kind of going like this. So you're going around like this, and you kind of move around like that. It takes a bit of getting used to, and I'm kind of like, sometimes I'm going around and I'm having a shooting battle or something, and I'm like, and when I start leaning a little bit more, I'm like, oh, this is getting really hard to do, because my mind is having a hard time adjusting to everything, right? It's really weird. Not the greatest game. I wouldn't recommend this one. Batman, maybe. I mean, it's kind of, there's some cool moments in that. This is probably the best one, so I'm not going to talk about this one. We'll talk about this one instead. PlayStation VR Worlds. kind of has just like it's a demo of a bunch of very small games. It's okay. I mean, it is a demo, and but I don't feel that the VR is as good as these other games. I feel that Batman had really nice looking VR, whereas VR Worlds, it feels like that was a launch title. The next two are probably the best ones on the system. Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim VR. It feels like you are actually there, but the graphics are quite toned down. I mean, because the game is huge. You're able to do the entire game here. It's insane how they were able to do that and accomplish this. It's not as clear as I would want it to be, because I felt that Batman was much clearer than this one. But you kind of have to expect that because of how big this game is, and that you're playing VR. It's amazing. I've played quite a bit into this game, and but I can only play an hour anyway. But I really feel that after an hour of this, I have to take a break, because in the battles, once again, I'm using the move controls, and when I'm walking around and I'm getting to have these battles and people are shooting at me from different directions, I'm trying to run over to them, and you use this really weird thing where you can kind of like teleport yourself. I don't like that because that doesn't feel real. So I do this thing, I think, where you kind of have to take the move controller and kind of go like this, like kind of like you're going, okay, I'm going to start running that way or that way. And it works, but it's not seamless. And it's kind of, when you're having a battle and you're trying to do these things and you're kind of trying to go left and right, and that's disorienting. And I get a little bit like, oh, that was a lot there. I don't feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm kind of lucky in that way, but I still get a bit disoriented, and I'm like, okay, I can only play an hour of this. And when I get into a big action scene like that, I have to take a break. Now, the best game by far for VR, I mean, Elder Scrolls is my favorite game of all time, but it's not perfect. The best game for VR is Wipeout. This, I don't get disoriented. It looks great. It plays great. This is awesome. It's the Wipeout collection. I mean, you can play it on the regular screen anyway, and you don't have to have VR to play this game. So I think alone, this is a great game, because it's a collection, I think, of Wipeout HD, Wipeout Fury, and Wipeout 2048, which was on the Vita, I believe. Great racer, kind of like F-Zero style. Freaking awesome. It does not need the VR, but they added a VR to it, and that is by far. It's weird. It's the only game that's not specifically VR. All the other ones specifically say, they have like the little sign there, PlayStation VR. This one doesn't. They just added it. So that's really cool. Alright. I picked up recently one of the best the best game on the PlayStation, The Legend of Dragoon, because I didn't have this as my own copy. Now I do. I did have a Greatest Hits version like a long time ago, but I sold that, unfortunately. But now I have the actual black label. So happy. I will probably be playing this next year. There's quite a few games that I want to play RPG-wise next year. We're going to see if that actually happens. Okay. My goodness, we have so many games here, and I have so little time. I mean, I could keep going, but I'm going for 18 minutes. Okay, Sea of Thieves. I had so much fun with this online in terms of battling other people. When you're in a crew and you're battling a bunch of ships, that's where this game is at. When you're playing single player or you're playing with another crew and you're kind of just doing the campaign, I guess, like the missions and stuff, it's boring. It's not fun. Fighting skeletons and snakes, what is this? That's not fun. When you go over, though, and you see another ship and they're getting treasure and you're going to steal their treasure and sneak away, so much fun! So much fun! Or some people are trying to do that to you. Or you see another ship and you're like, oh man, we're kind of going in the same area, what's going to happen here? And then another ship comes by and you're like, this is insane. What are we going to do? Are we all going to, like, so everybody's starting to man the cannons? Are we going to have this battle here? Or what's going to happen? Oh, so much fun. So much fun. That is where this game lives. State of Decay 2, I didn't, also I picked up this game half price on launch day because I pre-ordered it from E3, so normally it's $80 here in Canada, or it was when it first launched, but I got it for $40. Same thing with this game. I think I got this for $35. And it's okay. Played it online with my friends, but only like the first few hours. We really do need to get back into it, and also get back into Sea of Thieves and play a bit more of that. It's okay. It's a zombie game, survival. You kind of get bases and build them up a little bit. We haven't done anything too crazy yet. Far Cry 5. I'm about 5 hours into this game. Looks gorgeous, looks amazing, and I'm having fun with it. It's from what I gather, Far Cry. I've never really played anything for Far Cry except for Far Cry Primal, I believe it was. So this is my first real first-person shooter Far Cry game based in our time, and it's in America, so that's kind of cool. With a bunch of hillbillies and stuff. It's okay. Big map though, and it is very fun. You just go into this very open world place and take on these missions. It's fun. Beaten Spider-Man, as I did have a review of this. I'll link that in the description box below if you want to see my full thoughts on this. Fantastic game. Absolutely love Spider-Man. Really hope that they make a sequel for this. The best Spider-Man that we've probably played. No, it is. It is the best Spider-Man that they've ever made. Story was great. Web slinging was very good. Not as good as Spider-Man 2 on Xbox, PS2, GameCube. But the combat's better. The scope of the city is better. The side missions are better. Yeah, it is the definitive Spider-Man game. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I just recently picked up. And this is so far the best looking game that I've ever played. Oh, it's amazing. And it's just as good, if not better, than the 2014 reboot of Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. And so many people have been saying bad things about this, but I'm having a blast with this. I mean, I'm only like a few hours into it, like maybe 3-4 hours. But I absolutely love this game. This is great. I don't understand people saying that like it's more of the same. That's fine with me. I like this kind of game. It's gorgeous. It plays well. It's fun, and there's side missions too to it now. So I really don't understand the hate for this game or the mediocre reviews. I don't get that. Anyway, next up is a bunch of games that I haven't played yet. So let me know in the comments below what you think I should play next out of these. But I'll kind of explain as I go along. Little Dragon's Cafe. I just recently got this as well, like a few weeks ago, and at the time I was playing Spider-Man. Now I'm playing Tomb Raider. Really want to play this, kind of like a Harvest Moon type of game. I did get the special edition as well, which comes with the little plush of the dragon there. This is gonna be so up my alley. You have a restaurant that you're kind of taking care of, and a dragon as well. I can't wait. Next up is Oceanhorn, my first limited run game. Kind of like a Zelda clone. And I picked up a copy for my girlfriend as well. We are planning to play this at the same time, but I just also recently picked it up this month. Lost Sphere, also by Square Enix, or produced at least by them. These are the same guys that did I Am Setsuna, which I do want to play and beat first. So I Am Setsuna is more of like an SNES RPG, where this is like a PS1 RPG from what I've gathered. Much bigger game, didn't get as nice of a rating as I Am Setsuna, but I really want to check this out. And I'm glad that I got the physical, which I had to order from Square Enix's site at the time. God of War PS4. Really want to play this game. My girlfriend absolutely loves the monster in the back there. She thinks he's like adorable. I'm like, okay. So she really wants me to watch me play this game. But I really feel that I need to play God of War 1, 2, and 3 before I dive into this game. But I've heard so many good things about this game, and I do really want to get into it. But I'm currently playing the God of War collection. I've beaten God of War 1. I played this a long time ago, and I felt like it was just okay. But I played the whole game and beat it. And I understand a little bit more of why people like the God of War series. It's a good beat-em-up game. Not amazing. It's good. Much better than I previously thought it was. And now I just need to play God of War 2 and 3, and then I'll play this one. Or do you think that I could skip 2 and 3 and just jump to this one? The only problem is if I do that, I don't know when I'm ever going to play 2 and 3. Whereas at least this motivates me to play 2 and 3. We'll see. Another game that I've been playing a lot of, Grand Theft Auto 5. Because my girlfriend got it. She has an Xbox One now. She has this game and the South Park RPG. Those are the only 2 games that she has on it, and she's absolutely loved it. She like Grand Theft Auto, I think would have been enough for her. She just loves that game. We're playing online, and she'll always just make friends because she's a girl and she just walks around and she talks to people, or like not talks to people, just because she's a girl, they'll always pick her up and just drive her away. And then other times, if they try to kill me, then she'll kill them. But if not, then like I can kind of join in and like get into like all these crazy mischievous things that they're doing. Like going around in a plane together, and then we're gonna go rob a place together because like she made friends with them and stuff. It's a lot of fun. And then we have like these big turf wars. Like if they start killing her, or I start getting killed, then we'll come in and help each other out. And we played with Kevin and Jason as well, and so we have these big battles, like the 4 of us versus a bunch of other people, and it's just mayhem in the streets. And then the guy gets a tank and stuff, and there's people flying around in cars and motorcycles, and it's just like, this game's crazy, but it's so much fun. Ghost Recon Wildlands. This game is crazy long. I don't know how many hours we played in this game. I feel like we're at like 15 hours or something, and we're still not done the first world, but we've spent so much time on the Predator mission. Fun game. Very fun game. But I feel that I wish that it felt a little bit more... I don't know. There's something in there that's missing. It's a good game. I'm having fun with it, but only because it's multiplayer. If it wasn't multiplayer, I wouldn't enjoy this game. I wish it was a little bit more like it really mattered about you sneaking in. I think that, like it was more like Splinter Cell. Something like that. I don't know. Or more like if it was more like Rainbow Six, where you had to strategize and really plan things out, and then you attacked a base. But we usually just take a helicopter and fly in, and then we kind of go on different areas, and then we kind of try to meet together. We've used different strategies and stuff, but it's missing something, but it's still a very fun game. And last but not least, Monster Hunter World, which I really need to put a lot more time in, but this is my first Monster Hunter game, and I love it. This is a very fun game. I'm playing it with Jason from Team Beardage, which, once again, you guys need to be introduced to Team Beardage again if you haven't watched the channel for a long time. We're actually trying to think of doing a live stream soon, our first ever live stream back since I think 2 years ago is the last one that we did. And we kind of want to do it like bi-weekly or something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and just kind of going over different topics that are currently happening in the gaming world. And then taking like Q&As if anybody shows up for the chat and stuff, because we'll probably do them on YouTube. But anyway, Monster Hunter World, I love the cats. I love that you have a cat that comes with you as a partner, and they're freaking adorable. They don't like water, so at one point, like if I go into the water, they'll get like a leaf and they'll start paddling towards you. It's the cutest thing ever. I'm a cat person, and this was so perfect. The battle system in Monster Hunter, if you've never played a Monster Hunter game, is a little bit different because it's a lot slower paced, and it's a lot more strategy involved. Like you have to figure out when to attack these monsters, when not to attack. You also have to use a lot of the items and traps. Those work a lot, really well in this game, and all it is you grind. But I like that. I'm liking the grinding, getting better gear, and you don't really level up. You level up with your gear, kind of like you get a better weapon because you've battled this thing so often, and now you're able to craft this new weapon or this new armor. Or you now have like the complete armor set of something because you've battled it so often. There's a lot to it, and I feel that I had to watch like a few videos on YouTube to really get like an idea of how to play the game. And Matt Mercer from Critical Role voices one of the characters in here, which is awesome. And then the storyline is okay so far. I haven't fought anything gigantic. I mean, I fought the T-Rex in here. That was kind of cool. But yeah. I really enjoyed Monster Hunter World, and I do need to play a lot more of this. Because we want to actually, myself, Kevin, and Jason from Team Beardage also want to play, like I have an actual list of the top 10 best games of 2018 and try to play as many possible games as we can. And we decided to do this starting September. So I just played Spider-Man, I have Tomb Raider, I have Octopath Traveler, I have Far Cry 5 that I've played. I do need to play God of War. That's another big one that I need to play. And there's quite a few other games that are coming out in the rest of the year that we're going to be playing that I think will be part of that list. But it's going to be fun. So, there you have it. I'm all caught up with my gaming update. Thank you all for watching, and you've been bearded in.
Beardage.